He's all smiles again. What a difference a week makes for Manchester United, and particularly that man, Owen.
Yeah, look, 6 days last Sunday against Liverpool. Probably one of the worst moments, in their kind of sporting history. And then to go and turn it around, today was credit to Ole and the players. He was brave. He changed the tactics from a back three with wing backs. They had better balance, they had control of the game, and they had two world-class players at the top of the pitch in Ronaldo and Cavani. So they turned it around. Great performance. The attacking players decided the game. Bruno, Cavani and Ronaldo. And for Ole, defensively, they've been a mess all season. Today, clean sheet will be big for them.
Yeah. As a manager yourself, Glenn, when you're under the microscope and so many people are asking questions about his tactical acumen, which is the basics of football management, will that have hurt his pride somewhat? Will he have had a point to prove today?
No, not a point to prove to anyone outside of Old Trafford and Manchester. A point to prove to himself and his players that they could play under that pressure. Rashford mentioned the word, you got to enjoy pressure sometimes. And I think Ollie said it before the game as well. And I think their performance showed that actually they were prepared to take it on their shoulders and they were big enough and strong enough, and good enough to do that. And they played with shape today. They had a system. They looked like they knew what they were doing. Position. Everyone was in a good shape with and without the ball, and that's when you're a good side normally. So it's a big shift. They were quite fortunate that they've had a week to prepare.
Yeah.
And get that back three together, and they look solid. Yes, they caught Tottenham, who played poor on the day, but you can't take anything away from United. Those two up front, I said before the game, I wanted Spurs to win. I'm a Spurs man, but I was quite excited to see how those two were going to play. And my word, they were well played.
Yeah, you're right to be excited. Let's have a look at Ronaldo's finish. I mean, this is his fourth goal in the Premier League already, his seventh in all competitions. Well, but this is something that we're almost becoming accustomed to, but it almost takes away from how unique he is at finishing these chances.
Well, I think what it is as well, it's first the movement. We're just showing here, he's just on the side. Look, he just jumps back. He knows he's got to get onside. He's confident that Fernandez's ability to drop a ball on a sixpence, so he peels off the back. But the technique of keeping the ball down, his both feet are in the air, he skips to smother the ball. And his eyes don't leave the ball. And there he is. He's in the air when he hits that ball. And the goalkeeper, Lloris, is in a perfect position, actually. And he still manages to beat him with pace. It is a top quality goal. It really is.
Look, I mean, he never ceases to amaze me, Cristiano. As a finisher, before it was just a pure football player and skills and tricks. Now he's a lethal finisher. And the ball, as soon as Bruno plays the ball, he knows what's coming. He knows who's on the ball. He peels off. And he's in a perfect position. And I just think for Cristiano, that United team's under pressure. And they had leaders out there. They had Cavani, great leader. They had Ronaldo out there. They had Varane came back into the side. So they had some personality on the pitch. And I think it showed in a moment when I think you only really know players when you're under pressure, when it's difficult. And today, look, last week Sunday they were terrible against Liverpool. Today they stepped up when they needed to.
For 2-0, Ronaldo turned scorer to provider. And this is why Glenn here was excited to see these two in action.
You know what, Manish? I love this goal because they're on the counter-attack. The chop from Ronaldo, the weight to the ball for Cavani, the finish from Cavani. They defended really with 7 players today. But then they got those 3, Ronaldo, Cavani, and Bruno Fernandes, and they'll decide games. Look, they don't need many chances because they're clinical, aren't they, Glenn?
Yeah, they are. I think both of them goals, the finishing was absolutely exquisite. But what makes them goals, and Cavani here as well, runs square first. Ronaldo pops back to get onside and then go back in and scores that goal. And if you watch Cavani, he doesn't go straight in. He makes that run across 2 yards, and then he knows I'm buying time because Ronaldo can't get onto the ball yet. And that's the top quality players do that. If I go now, I'm offside. No, I'll just buy myself another 2 yards. He's now putting his foot on the ball, I'm onside. And then the little dink finish was world class, wasn't it? And that is what you get from top quality players. On
the flip side of the coin, 5 defeats in their first 10 league games for Spurs. And what was Tottenham's approach today?
Quite frankly, I'm not quite sure. That's what's so frustrating. And I'm a little bit feared for Tottenham at the moment. I didn't see a theory to what they were doing with the ball when they had the ball, what they were doing against the back 5, which Nuno should know more than anyone.
Yeah, of course.
He played it with Wolves, so you know what the Achilles heel is of any system. and he didn't exploit that today. And then I'm looking at them as a team trying to win the ball back, which under Pochettino way back, 4 or 5 years ago, that was their strength. They pressed hard. There was no pressing at all. That went out the window. So in both sides of the game, I don't know. I couldn't see what they were trying to achieve, and that is really worse than. You can say they haven't had a shot at goal. You can say they give the ball away in midfield, and United punished them. There's a multitude of things that were wrong, but if you haven't got a theme of what you're going to do with the ball and without the ball, you're in trouble. And I really fear for Tottenham at the moment where they're going to go next.
Yeah.
Yes, they're still in the position. It's amazing, this league. One win and they jump back into fourth or fifth in the league.
Yeah.
So it's still that tight.
The crowd, you could hear, Owen, at points during that game, have clearly gone against the manager. Well, a section of the crowd, especially when Lucas Moura came off when he was substituted. Never mind the whistle at half-time or full-time. How much pressure is he under right now?
Well, they were dreadful. I mean, trying to be respectful, they were so bad, honestly. They weren't poor, like you said, they were dreadful. No shots on target. Two of the best attacking players in division, in Kane and Son, looked like they were, they couldn't score. So, attacking-wise, they're one of the lowest scoring teams in the division. That can't happen when you got two of the best players. And Glenn's right, in terms of how the style of play, it's not there. The Tottenham fans are disappointed with it. So, no wonder they're booing Manish, because they were poor. They were second best in every phase. And that's a United team that just lost 5-0. They should have gone after them, really, and put them under pressure.
They were there for the taking.
They were there for the taking.
Yeah.
And, Tottenham are in a bad place right now.